Approve. If there's no further discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have the consent agenda. And we did have a closed session, or scheduled on the agenda, consent agenda for this tonight. But we would go ahead, would be appropriate to go ahead and have that removed. And then approve the consent agenda as amended.
Move to adopt.
Second, Hoops.
Been a motion and a second. To adopt the amendment to remove the items from the agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. This time it would be appropriate to have the consent agenda approved as amended.
Motion to approve is amended.
Second.
There's been a motion to approve as amended. Any further discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote.
Ms. Hatton? Yes. Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
Yes.
Mr. Marquez?
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow? Yes. Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving down the agenda under 5A, we have a report from the Green Committee, Mr. Ron Darling.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Good evening, everyone, staff, weather-weary visitors. Last year marked the 14th year of the Green Committee and a second anniversary of a full city commission. Previously, the Green Committee was an ad hoc citizen-based group. So volunteers contributed over 532 hours for the city, which was a record this year, including 232 hours of litter and recycling collection, also a record, and a full 35 events that the Green Committee was responsible for. Also a record. And many thanks goes out for me to the volunteers and Green Committee members of their dedication, enthusiasm, hard work, creativity, and insight. Really been helpful. We still have openings as an auxiliary member. If anyone would want to become a member, please contact the council and they can get in touch with me. And this year, we're going to continue to focus on litter and recycling collections in the city. We will continue our Keep Hazelwood Clean, Hazelwood decals. Republic has recently gave permission to put those decals on their dumpsters that service residents, multifamily or businesses within our community. So that was a concession, I guess, of Republic, but since they are home-based in Hazelwood, they allow that to occur. So you may see some stickers and decals in other areas. And we will continue to reply or to do recycling education to groups. We're looking at preschool even, doing some education on recycling primarily, so. All right, let's get into some highlights. The first picture was our sign collection this past fall, shortly after the election. This particular site, I think, was the record for the region at 481 signs. And my thanks to Margot O'Neill for putting the location out to her contacts. A lot of the signs that you would see are older signs that was sitting in people's garages. And now they have been bailed and there's a processor through Republic. They're buying those signs and making other plastic products from that. We did tour Republic Industries. If anyone hasn't been there, Joelle, which is on our membership roll, can help arrange that for small groups. Even though I managed a similar facility in the city of St. Peters, it's always eye-opening to go through it. And you can put together in your head some of the reasons why certain things aren't collectible and processed and others are, based upon the series of conveyor belts and machinery there that goes from a single stream mixed environment to separate materials that are then baled and sold. This was probably our largest collection event. This is Trash Bash in the Music Park area, both in the park and a couple areas close by Music Park. It was the black bags are trash, and you can see there's some cardboard, and the clear bags are recyclables. And remember, we separate out the recyclables so we don't trash those. The aluminum cans are donated back to the city. And then the plastic and metal is also donated back to the city, and the plastic is sent to Republic in their processing facility. This was our largest recycling event. All these bags were materials that were collected in our mobile recycle bins, and this happened to be at our Hazelwood Day event in September. I almost said Recycle Day, but that would have been in there, so pretty nifty. All right, we're done here. We'll turn this off. Each year, Republic gives us a statistic on citywide what is collected. Yard waste in 2024 was up 25% this year. So obviously it was a great growing season. Even though the city had their own leaf collection this past fall, they still collected a record amount of yard waste. Trash was up 4%, and interesting, recycling was up 15%. Now you would think that's great news, but I think there's a situation where people are abusing the recycling and putting trash in the recycling. And even though the amount of recycling was up 15%, probably that was due to some more contamination that got into those carts. And we're going to address that in an activity this year. Because in the Republic facility, on average for all their incoming loads, the contamination rate is about 28%. The routes within Hazelwood is less than 28%. That is good news. Republic has given us 3 areas in the city where the driver feels like the contamination is higher than normal as compared to other routes in Hazelwood. And we're going to zero in on those areas this year, probably with some special education. And we're also going to got some help at no cost to Hazelwood from St. Louis County to do some auditing and trying to determine what is the biggest contamination that's occurring in these areas. And so we can zero in on our education specifically to this particular area and what's occurring out there in the carts. And so that those areas, once this is signed, sealed, and delivered, the council members will be notified of those areas that we'll be doing, because we'll actually be lifting lids and they're doing an audit of what they see in the recycling carts. The follow-up on that is a bona fide OOPS program where stickers could be placed on the cart informing the resident what they did wrong, and for that then to be corrected. And there's been a number of OOPS programs in the region, and with some great success in a couple areas in North County as well. So it's a proven activity that reaps benefits, and so we're going to consider that with specific smaller areas within Hazelwood. All right. I tried to quantify the amount of material that our group collected this year, and it amounts to about 3,500 pounds of trash that was collected for the entire year, and about 400 pounds of recyclables. The hotspots are based upon information that we get from the police department, what we see as well as city staff lets us know this area is bad. And so there's a lot of areas that we did last year that we will continue to do this year. And we did do some anti-litter decal activity, and we will continue that this particular year. On a Recycle Day event that we held in June, we had 401 vehicles arrive. That was down quite a bit from the previous year because we had an issue with the postcards in 63042 not being delivered to the residents. So the residents within that zip code, by our count of, we asked the vehicle when they come in, what zip code are you coming from? And the participation historically of 63042 was quite high, very low this year. And that's because people were looking for those postcards. They never got them in the mail for that particular event. So, and that information was conveyed to the post office, and they actually did through the Maryland Heights Post Office an audit of what went wrong in that Hazelwood Post Office, so that won't happen again. One thing we did do this year was a first. We participated in the Green Business Challenge of cities within the region and corporations within the St. Louis area, and having a scenario where they convey what they were doing green related. And so Hazelwood has a sheet in here of what we verified. So I'm going to give this to Julie, and if any council members wants to take a peek at that document, it's about a month old, and it is quite refreshing of what corporations are considering in green related, environmentally related activities that make sense for that particular corporation, and what other cities are doing as well. Other cities inquired to our green committee, how did this go? What did you do right? What did you do wrong? So it's a big coordination effort between cities as well. But it is quite eye-opening of what people are doing out there. And the whole idea is for people to share information. All right, that's it for my report. Any questions?
I'll start off for one. What you're doing is absolutely fantastic, but what is it that you need? What needs do you have as a committee that aren't being met that we could help with?
So this year we had more volunteers than ever before. But as we are then doing more events, certainly conveying to us, and we did some advertising on the digital sign as well. But if you meet people that are interested and do not like litter, just have them reach out to me or David. We can put you on the email list. We'll tell that individual where we're going to be, what time, and we furnish the bags, we furnish the gloves, the equipment, we try to make it as fun as possible, and we have an appreciation.
Yellow vest.
Yeah. Safety is first. That is right. And if it's in a right of way that has a lot of traffic, we have flashing lights from the animal control truck, or on occasion a police officer helps us to be certain that things are done safely and not putting your volunteers at risk. So, the more the merrier on the volunteers, Robert. So any help you can give us, We do have a couple of auxiliary memberships, still outstanding. The full membership, however, is now filled for the first time. And so that's a positive sign, so. But certainly the more volunteers, it makes, we can do more things. And it's not as tiring for our volunteers, so. Thank you.
How close are you working with Republic in my neighborhood, in my ward, and a lot of Sevens ward? The trash trucks come and they're piled up over the top of the trucks and they're flying off the back. And I mean, I drive through usually every other week or something and there's trash. I have to believe that if there's a bag of trash on the side, it's not somebody that went through it there, or fell off the truck. Cause I usually drive around Thursday nights, or in our neighborhoods Thursdays, Thursday nights or Friday mornings. So are you in contact with them?
I am, and one of our auxiliary members is the coordinator for our area, former Republic. So we just place a call to Joelle. She jumps all over it. We've had some issues with drivers that of Republic, that they were doing the wrong thing for over a year. And that was then addressed, so, but because they're an automated truck.
I
and
know,
it-
we've heard all of that.
Yeah.
But I would just ask that, you know, you keep an eye on that in any of the areas, because it's not a good look when you're doing such a great job within the community and the green community, and there's people that are driving through, you know, it's not their neighborhood, so they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, they just get off the highway,
And,
go through the neighborhood. And we live, Ward 4 and most of Ward 7 is the closest to the Republic facility. So it's just disheartening, is really.
and you just need to let me know and I'll convey that, or if you want her direct phone number, I'll be happy to give it to you
I have it.
and just make the contact. And she's been very, very responsive, and as a problem solving.
And I would agree with that to some degree, except if it was something that was being resolved, it would be resolved instead of continuing, you know.
Yeah, understood.
And I did have one last question. For the auxiliary members, how many of those do you accept, and
I
what
think
exactly does
I
that
think
mean?
we have one auxiliary and there's 8 total, so there's seven
Okay.
opportunities there.
7 open, and what do they do versus the actual members?
They participate, they get, auxiliary gets a liability coverage when they're helping us. But they're non-voting, if.
Oh, so it's just anybody from, okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes. It's essentially a membership without voting rights,
okay,
but you know, you're listening to them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
obviously. Yeah,
okay, great, thank you so much.
all right.
I'd like to
Thanks.
say thank you, Ron. I think you guys are doing a great job. I think you hit on a couple key points of education. Number one, of some of the areas that may be contaminated, or just citywide education.
Right,
Because I want to tell you right now, about 5 or 6 years ago, you came in, you brought a bag of things and held up certain things. Every time I go to throw some of that stuff away, I think of you and make sure that I'm trying to do it. And I sometimes wonder, am I supposed to put this in here or over here in in the trash? So education is the key thing to decrease that contamination and increase our recycling program.
right. And we're planning on giving a presentation to Hazelnuts this year as well. So that our last presentation was about 3 years ago, so we're overdue for Hazelnuts. So we're gonna handle that, so.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ron. I'll take a copy of this. I don't know if you're gonna stay for the whole meeting. I can give it back to you.
Well, that's your copy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Rod. Next, we have citizens' comments and discussion, which will be heard at this time to a total of 15 minutes, which may be increased at the discretion of the chair and by a motion approved by a majority of the council members present at the meeting. Citizens' comments.
Kevin Foley, 57-year resident of Villa Maria. It's pretty ironic that you're here tonight because that's exactly what I'm going to discuss tonight is the trash issue with Republic Service. They contribute to the trash in the neighborhood. And it's a problem. I continually pick up trash in my neighborhood on a regular basis, every week, on a weekly basis. I have pictures in my phone from last week until June of last year. They're all dated of this specific truck that they use in our neighborhood with trash piled up on top of it. I know that if they're doing this in my neighborhood, they're doing it in other wards throughout the city. And I would say everywhere throughout the community. I follow these trucks around. I take pictures. Republic Service is a problem. They are doing this. Here's what I would like to do, just like he did. He brought a proposal. I would like to bring a proposal next meeting to the council. I'm asking your permission. The city manager can look at the pictures that I propose to bring of Republic Service, of our community, our wards, some of the issues that are in that, and some of our parks that you guys apparently, and I'm not being ignorant or trying to descend on you, that you know nothing about, that have been an issue for years since I started this. I've been in this for 2 years now. I have 2 years of pictures of our parks, of code infractions lately and that have existed, and Republic Service. They come by my shop every day. I take pictures of them. I follow that truck around. So I'm asking your permission. I'm going to bring a proposal together next meeting with a bunch of pictures of some things. The city manager can look at it. You guys can look at it before I bring it to the screen and make sure there's nothing on there that you like. I'm asking your permission. Let me know. Last meeting, a gentleman talked about the trash that occurs at the Dollar General stores throughout our community. This is a huge problem and with other commercial properties. And I'm going to use as an example that if I'm driving down Howdershell and I'm speeding and the police pull me over and they give me a warning ticket, and then a week later, I'm driving down Howdershell again and they pull me over again, I'm pretty sure they're not going to give me a warning. They're going to give me a ticket. There's a repercussion for my actions. And there's a lack of this in the city of Hazelwood with commercial properties, with code enforcement, with the parks, period. And you guys need to do something about this. And that's what I would like to show you. That's what I would like to show you. Last council meeting, I talked a lot about the charter, especially with you, Mr. Robinson. I have some questions for you about Don Ryan and about the harassment that occurred to the councilwomen on this board, on this council. I'm giving you the option to do it in private or to do it in public. I'm going to bring them to a meeting. You can contact me before. I want to discuss these issues with you. If you don't contact me and discuss these issues and the questions that I have, I'm going to bring them to the public in a meeting. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
All right, David. Thank you. Anybody else under citizens' comments? Yes, Ron.
So since the Green Committee's advisory, I think the first step with Kevin would be to bring the photographs and share them with the Green Committee and let us make a recommendation to you based upon what we see and our communication with Republic on what the situation is. I think that would be helpful for the council if you use us as a sounding board if for any concerns related to this area. So Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll do that. I'm good with that.
Is there anybody else under citizens' comments? Anybody else under citizens' comments? We'll move on down the agenda. There's no public hearings. Nothing's been removed under communications. Anything under unfinished business? Hearing none, mayor and council reports. We've got the March 12th work session agenda items. Hearing no discussion of the mayor and council reports, I'd like to move on with thanking the Public Works Department and city staff for all they've done the last couple of weeks here in our snowstorm. Our snow, it's hard to predict. You never know when to put that salt down to the asphalt or that that plow down to the asphalt and the timing and the order that it needs to happen. But I think we've done a very good job in the city of Hazelwood, so I'd like to extend my thanks out to the city staff and the employees that are involved. And all as city employees that kept City Hall running, coming in late at 10, not late, but under snow, care at 10 a.m. instead of, you know, they made their way into work to keep City Hall open on snow days instead of closing down. So thank you. Is there anything else in the mayor and council reports?
I'd like to go with you and say the teamwork that I saw out there for snow removal, even the officers checking intersections and things like that. I saw them come and checking the slickness and things like that for, you know, the snow removal crews, and so they can report back to them, let them know where they need to concentrate on that. I thought it was great. Teamwork and everybody coming together, just real good job.
Anybody else? City managers report?
A couple of things tonight, Mr. Mayor, and council. What we have is representatives from Missouri American Water. Bethany Jenkins is here, and sorry, just name was blank. So anyway, they're here to talk about the water main break on Dunn Road and some things that took place about that. So Bethany, I'll let both of you come up and talk about that.
Thanks for having us, council and mayor, and it's Taylor Elhofer. I'm the Senior Director of Operations for Missouri American Water. Bethany Jenkins is our Senior Operations Manager. She reports up through me. We kind of work together through this, and we're here to kind of discuss kind of the brief events and answer any questions you guys might have regarding the break that happened back on February 11th. So to kind of give a brief overview, late night, February 11th, we had a 30-inch main break. You're all probably familiar with it at Dunn and Hazelcrest. It dropped pressure in the area. When pressure drops below 20 PSI, we then have to issue a precautionary boil advisory. And so we initially kicked off that process, got the boil advisory underway so that could be dispatched, as well as dispatching people out to the area to locate the precise area of the break and start the process of valving down the main to prevent further water coming out, as well as to make the repair on the main itself. Throughout that morning and the next day and into the evening, several crews kind of cycled through to make the repair, and the repair was completed within about 24 hours, a little bit short of that. And after that, once the repair was made and we could confirm that, you know, all the pressures met where we needed to be at, we grabbed samples from the area to make sure, you know, everything was cleared and good to go before lifting the boil advisory. Once the samples passed, meaning that there was no sign of contamination present, we were then clear to lift that boil advisory the prior day after taking the samples. So hopefully, you know, this is a little bit short notice. I didn't put anything specifically together, so I apologize for that. But hopefully that gives a little bit of a broad overview of the process. I imagine you all might have a few questions about the process, and happy to answer anything you guys want to discuss there.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
This 30-inch main that broke, how old was it?
So this main was 1954 vintage, certainly not the oldest main out in the system. We've got a wide array of mains that are out there. We've got about 4,600 miles of main throughout St. Louis County. So for some perspective, that's almost, going across America and about halfway back. So there's a lot out there. Definitely not something that's necessarily at the end of the useful life, but there's a lot of different things that could go into main breaks and cause them. Some of the easily known ones, if a contractor's digging in the area, they strike a main, that'll cause a break. If there's any major pressure swings, which wasn't the event here, if, a valve's closed suddenly or fire department's going out to do flow testing on hydrants and they close a fire hydrant too quickly, that could send a pressure swing out through the system. Things like that could cause breaks. This didn't have any signs of that. You could go back and see kind of the transient pressure analysis of the area and didn't see any signs that was the case. Oftentimes, what we see is a lot of things that contribute to the breaking of mains is age, the material of the main itself, because different materials were used throughout the years, as well as right now, what we're facing is a lot of the temperature in the environment creates a lot of problems, as well as kind of the soil. St. Louis County doesn't necessarily have the best soil for buried mains, unfortunately. It's a little bit more aggressive. And so that's always a challenge. But usually in the winter, what we see is you've got a varying temperature gradient, as well as a difference in temperature of the water that's passing through the pipe, which causes expansion and contraction of materials. Usually if there's not too much of a problem, if the soil's moist and you're not going through a dry period, that can really be accentuated during a dry period. If soil dries out, kind of doesn't provide that support. So it can kind of be caused by a wide array of things. And usually it's kind of a mixture of different causes.
And for 30-inch diameter main, would you classify that on the small, medium, or large end of the spectrum for your water mains?
That's on the larger end of the spectrum. Definitely on the large. Most are going to be around 6 or 8 inch or smaller. This is a larger main used to carry, it's a transmission line to carry, large quantities from one area of the city to the other.
And then in regards to the residents that were affected by this, what have you done to help those that were displaced by the water?
Sure, we've contacted them and we're continuing to stay in contact. So far, I think we've begun some of the remediation. I think as of last Friday, we had a little over $100,000 worth of remediation that had already occurred by that time. I did get a chance to check where that value stood today. I don't know if Bethany, you have any updated
A little
values?
bit more, but we're not quite finished yet, so more to be spent. We were able to settle with one
Can you
customer
speak in the
already.
microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Just for the record.
Sorry. So probably a little bit more by now. So we're 8 days out from the date of the event. We've already been able to settle with one of the customers. That typically happens between Travelers Insurance, our insurance carrier, and the customer themselves in our claims department, handled on a case-by-case basis. We are fully out of 2 of those units in Hazel Crest condominiums. Still a little bit more to go with the drying of the plywood and the drywall and all that. So we're almost done with the remediation.
Because we had an incident a couple of years ago, and there was some tension and between your Missouri American Water and MSD as to who was involved. So it's good to see that you're being more proactive this time.
Yes, we were able to have representatives from Travelers on site that following morning, probably around 9 a.m. So we were in communication with them, saying, hey, can you send a couple of reps out here to meet with the customers and trying to ascertain ownership, tenancy, and working with them on a case-by-case basis. Any other questions about Travelers?
I'm done if anybody else has.
So with it being in my ward, how much of it is being covered? I mean, you're doing the cleanup, but what are they actually, I mean, are they gonna go back in and put the dry walls back up? Carpeting and everything else? I know one of the residents just moved in and everything was ruined. So is he one of the residents that you're talking about is taken care of?
I do not have the names of the tenants because, Travelers, works with our loss control risk management group. And so I don't have that information. Those are handled on a case by case basis. So I can't, tell you what's covered, what's not. That's through a separate entity. That's kind of an arm for us.
Because, I mean, that's one of my concerns, really, like I said to you earlier, for me to see him on TV, and hearing their side of the story, I just want to make sure we're on the same, that we're all on the same page, that I'm not hearing one thing and then, you guys are telling me another thing. So I just want to make sure we're together. And I really want to keep in contact with you, please.
Absolutely.
So I know what we're doing. I mean, between you, David, and I would really like to keep up. I mean, if that's okay with you, David. Because I, like I said, my main concern was seeing them on TV. I did go over there one day, but none of them were at home. I know a few of them have left their homes, because most of them had to be out of there. But yeah, that's one of my concerns, is to make sure everything is taken care of. And then, they're not left hanging at the end, so.
Certainly. You've got my information now. He never lets me leave. So I'm
Okay.
there all the time.
All right.
I let her out for this, so.
Just for this, right? But email, cell phones on there, reach out at any time. And if you need for me to act as an intermediary between Travelers and the customer, I can make sure that they have made contact and that they're in touch with each other.
And I'll send over my contact information as well. One of us will probably race to it, but one of us will respond for sure.
I'd like to say, from being involved in the last instance that Bob was just talking about with MSD and many other cases over the years. In each incident, every property owner is addressed differently. They're damaged differently. They're settled with differently. So that's just something to remember. Not everybody is going to get the same deal, and it's all through the insurance company and the property owner. And I'm pretty sure if our attorney, without asking the attorney, I'm pretty sure it's there. It's not something that we need to be careful getting involved in. We just need to make sure that the contacts are there like we did in the last project, and then let them take, because we don't want to have those negotiations don't take place here at the city of Hazel.
Right.
Sure.
Right. I do want to say, I had the opportunity to talk to several of your employees. I talked to the police chief that day. I talked to the manager. I talked to the streets commissioner. Everybody was super helpful. So I hope they made a good friend in me, but you guys, we'd love to stay in touch with you guys and stay in constant partnership. And if you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Give us a call. Happy to help.
I did have one question.
Yes.
Are you guys joint trenched with anyone else? Was anyone else's services damaged with that?
No services were damaged. There was electric in the home. So we did have to call Ameren out to de-energize, and they came out to de-energize before we were able to break open the excavation to perform the repairs.
Okay, thanks.
Before you guys go, our directors this morning in our director meeting asked if you could maybe on the record, give a few tips about when it gets this cold, how to prevent water mains in homes and apartments or condos, etc.
Sure. I can't tell you how to prevent water main breaks, right? Large pipe and transmission and distribution main, that's underground, but service line,
Yeah,
the
that's
line
what I
that goes into your
Yeah,
home.
that's what I meant.
Faucet at a slow drip. Is it the lowest level? The lowest level of the home. Also open up the cabinet doors underneath your sinks to let the ambient heat try to heat those pipes. Try not to turn off the heat, even though you may be leaving town on a vacation, leave something on to keep it pumping with these sub-zero temperatures. What am I missing?
No, you got, I mean, really focus on especially the exterior wall piping. So if you've got something that kind of shares the wall with the outside, those are going to be affected the soonest. So really take care for those.
Unhook your garden hoses.
Unhook your garden
Unhook the garden
hoses. And the
hoses.
big thing is kind of let your faucet drip. You want to have kind of that flow and that motion so that it prevents that stagnant water from freezing during those times. So those are the two key things.
Thank you.
Yep.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. A couple of quick things on my status report. Just at the last meeting, we had a couple of residents come up and ask some questions. One, Mr. Foley was talking about, or asked about the move of code enforcement over to the police department. He and I did meet in my office the next day and discussed that fully with him and gave him the reasons. But I just want to let him know that bottom line, because it was an open meeting when it was asked, I want the public to know, bottom line was, primary focus was I saw a better working relationship between the police and code, especially if you saw what we did at Haven Inn and some of the others. And I think it gives a lot of, for lack of a better way, push for the code enforcement when they walk on and you see that they are part of the police department. I think that gives a lot more credibility to the code enforcement, not that they don't have credibility, but that perception of being tied with the police department. And I will tell you that it has worked out really, really well. I've been very pleased with what has been taking place. Kudos to the chief and to Lieutenant Parrish and Captain Deegan, because they're overseeing all of this right now. And finally, during the slough petition last week on Ooey Gooey Burgers, a resident voiced his concern regarding the increase in trash around the restaurants. Again, it was brought up tonight. The very next day, code enforcement went out to, I think it was about a dozen of the restaurants to check it out, to issue citations, to talk to them. So we did start working on that, and we will continue to monitor that situation. We appreciate the resident bringing it up for us. Two other final things. You've seen a lot about this, but the police department did dive into the frigid waters this weekend for the polar bear plunge. They raised over $8,000 for the Special Olympics. They also took home the golden plunger for the best team costume. They wore the Hazelwood West football jerseys at this, and they won the law enforcement team award for raising the most funds. And finally, if you've seen in the lobby, we have now, the police department has put out a flag retirement box in the lobby for residents. So that way, if you have an American flag, it needs to be disposed of properly. And thus, if you put it in this bin, we will make sure that it is taken care of in that vein. That is all my report, Mr. Mayor and Council, and if you have questions or concerns at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City attorney's report,
No report.
city clerk's report.
Good evening. The Missouri Secretary of State's office provides schedules with minimum retention periods for certain local government records. Upon expiration of the period, the records may be destroyed. Attached in your packet are records destruction reports consisting of record destruction forms from the police department, the finance department, and the city manager's office for records destroyed on January 27, 2025. Per state statute, the report must be made part of the council's minutes and attached to the minutes. A motion to accept the report and attach it to the minutes is appropriate.
So moved.
Second. There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Anything else on our city clerk's report?
No, sir.
New business, anything under new business? Hearing none, there are no first readings. Move to second readings, item 18A. Bill number 5156.
Council, in your packet, you will find a red line version of Bill 5156. Now, redlined is 5156.1. It was amended to remove a section that reflected the Department of Public Works shall be charged with the responsibility for enforcement of the conditions in the special land use expansion permit ordinance. And now that the Department of Public Works Division of Code Enforcement reports to the police department, Mr. O'Keefe advised that removal of that section altogether could happen. So the bill has been amended by the text of Bill 5156.1. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Any questions? Hearing none, it would be appropriate to make an amendment to bill number 5156. There is a motion to amend bill number 5156. Is there a second? There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it.
I forget he's up there. Every time he does it, I jump.
Now we will be reading bill number 5156.1.
An ordinance amending ordinance 4954-23 by granting an expansion of the special land use permit issued to Deagle Properties LLC for vehicle service and repair facility, vehicle rental / leasing, vehicle painting, and vehicle truck sales at 5464 Brown Road and 5480 Brown Road to include a building addition and providing for the regulation of such usage.
Move to adopt.
Second, oops.
There's been a motion and a second to adopt. Any other discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Hatton? Yes. Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
Yes.
Mr. Marquez?
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow?
Yes.
Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Bill number 5156 as amended is unanimously adopted as ordinance number 5038-25.
Thank you. Moving on to item 18B. We have bill number 5157.
The same would go for this. This is a special land use permit, and that section was also removed on this bill. So also, this needs to be amended by the text of 5157.1.
And motion.
Is there a motion to amend?
Second.
Kelly, Hoops, seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, there's been a motion to amend bill number 5157. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we'll have the reading of bill number second reading of bill number 5157 as amended. Point one. Something like that.
An ordinance authorizing and granting a permanent special land use permit to Let's Grow Old Together, LGOT LLC DBA Ooey Gooey Smoke Burger for a restaurant at 5906 North Lindbergh Boulevard and providing the conditions of such usage.
Move to adopt.
Second, oops.
Been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Hatton? Yes. Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
Yes.
Mr. Marquez?
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow? Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Bill number 5157 as amended is unanimously adopted as ordinance number 5039-25.
Thank you. Moving on down the list, 18C, we have bill number 5158.
Bill number 5158, an ordinance authorizing a client service agreement with Utility Associates Incorporated for body worn and patrol vehicle cameras at a cost not to exceed $500,630 for a 3-year term with a 2-year renewal option.
Move to adopt.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Hatton? Yes. Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
Yes.
Mr. Marquez?
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow?
Yes.
Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Bill number 5158 is unanimously adopted as ordinance number 5040-25.
Thank you. Next, we have item 18D. We have bill number 5159.
Bill number 5159, an ordinance approving a memorandum of understanding between the city of Hazelwood and the Laborers International Union of North America and Laborers Local 42 with regard to terms and conditions of employment for police sergeants of the Hazelwood Police Department for the period from February 20th, 2025 through June 30th, 2027.
Move to adopt.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to adopt. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Hatton? Yes. Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
Yes.
Mr. Marquez?
Yes.
Ms. Wetlow?
Yes.
Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
yes,
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Bill number 5159 is unanimously adopted as ordinance number 5041-5.
Next, we have miscellaneous business and announcements. We have a regular city council meeting on March 5th at 6:30 p.m. I ask everybody to please drive safely out there. It's still a little slippery in certain areas, so remember the ice on the roads and still be careful for the next day. If there's no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 The ayes have it. Thank you.